Welcome to Aired Out, brought to you by Capitol Showplace Montpelier and Paramount Theater Barrie. At FGBtheaters.com, CW Print and Design in Barrie, at CWPrintDesign.com, Peak Entertainment, PeakDJ.com, Cruise Planners, your land and cruise experts. In Vermont, CruisePlanners.com, Donnybrook Fight Promotions of Williamstown, CBDCrave.com. Presented by CVTV, Public Access Channel 192 and 194, CVTV723.org, Fontaine Forestry and Millworks, Route 14 East Montpelier. Custom orders, rough, kiln dry, plain, tongue and groove, or shiplap. FontaineMillworks.com and Fly on the Wall Productions. Now, let's get aired out.
It's Wednesday, September 11th, and thank you so much for tuning in and for subscribing on this Wednesday afternoon. Patriot Day, the 18th anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Also a day of remembrance, National Day of Remembrance, and National Day of Service. And I hope whoever you are, wherever you are, you've done something, somehow, somewhere today to help others as we remember September 11th and all of those who have been affected 18 years ago and still are today. Schools across New York, I read this morning, are now required to observe a moment of silence every year on the 9/11 anniversary. Governor Andrew Cuomo signed the bill into law yesterday. Isn't that something? The law calls for a brief moment of silence at the beginning of the school day. Gosh, we have a lot to get to, a lot to talk about. First, I just want to say I've got a fantastic new producer that I am so excited about. Billy Waite is my boy on the other side of the glass, pushing the buttons and running the controls, and he's going to be on the show here at some point soon, I promise, and starting up his own podcast. But he's a cool guy out of Williamstown. We're going to be talking more about him and having him on real soon. But thank you, Billy, so much. Billy Waite, my new producer. What a great guy. The analytics for August so far, I just have to share with you because I'm excited about it. 38 new subscribers. We've got 335 subscribers now for Aired Out, something that was just started in January. So, yeah, it's really taken off. Just under 1,600 views, 16,000 minutes watched, 43 likes, and this is just in the month of August. 43 likes, 17 comments, 15 posts, and 45 shares. Those are the August analytics so far for Aired Out. I see that there will be, in the paper today, there will be no charges against the state troopers who shot and killed Jeremy Potwin in Tunbridge back in May. That's one of the big stories that is buzzing in Vermont today. This Friday is Friday the 13th, and it's a full moon. So get ready for some crazy. And speaking of crazy, the Popeyes chicken sandwich hysteria continues. Houston police are trying now to find out whoever pulled a gun on Popeye workers over a chicken sandwich after hearing that they were out. This is an ongoing thing. The Twitter war on who has the best chicken sandwich, and police in Texas are looking for people who demanded the Popeyes chicken sandwich at gunpoint. Can you believe it? What is this world coming to? There's no more chicken sandwiches at Popeyes, people. Okay? Get over it. But listen, if you want to download the app, you'll get a notification if they're going to come out with new chicken sandwiches. So you'll know before anyone else does. So we have a lot to get to, a lot to talk about. As you may have seen yesterday on my Facebook page, yesterday was World Suicide Prevention Day. And I posted that one person commits suicide somewhere in the world every 40 seconds. The World Health Organization calls it a serious global public health issue, noting that about 800,000 people die from suicide every year, and that is despite the fact that worldwide suicide rates have declined by nearly 10% between 2010 and 2016. So obviously a pretty serious situation. I put a link up of a previous podcast that I had done with Buzz Fisher about bringing more awareness to suicide. That's one of the topics that we're going to talk about with my Washington County Deputy Sheriff Jason Gould, my guest in the studio this time around on Aired Out. But we have so many things to get. First off, thanks for coming in here,
Well, no
my
problem.
man. I really appreciate that. The vest that you wear, I have to say, when you came in here, you took off the vest.
I was glad to take it off.
My God, how heavy is that thing? That's crazy.
It's like 30 pounds.
And you're running around in that all day. Wow.
Well, it's one of those load-bearing vests. So we take the weight off of our hips,
Yeah.
and we go ahead and we put it on the vest.
Yeah.
This way, a lot of police officers have back pain. They have sciatic nerves.
Right.
They have hip, everything like that. So we take the weight off of the hips. We move it up onto the vest.
But still, that's crazy. I wouldn't last an hour wearing that thing.
I wore it all day.
Wow. Thank you for coming in here. This is your second time on Aired Out. My man, you and I have so much to talk about. I mean, honestly, I could get together with you for a couple of hours every week to chew the fat, and we would have plenty.
We have a lot to get to today, though.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, only since the last time that I was here, we have
Yes.
a lot to get to.
The last time you were here, Chad Bissett
Yep.
was sitting here between us, and he was awarded from the Berlin Police Department, and he was awarded a pretty distinctive honor.
That was the Caps for Cops Beyond the Badge Award. I worked with this organization. We went ahead and I told them right along that we need to do something nice for Chad for all the work that he's done. And you know what? He hasn't slacked off since he got the award.
I was going to ask you that.
He's going ahead. He's giving out backpacks and everything. He's just
Crushing it.
amazing. He's an amazing, amazing officer.
And it's not just for the elderly and the homeless, but he loves kids.
Yeah.
a
So I
great
mean,
guy.
he's going ahead. Although back to school time, he's going ahead. He's
Yeah.
he's crushing it.
He's a good guy.
He is.
He's a great guy. So that was the last time you were here.
Yep.
First off, let's say shame on me for not accepting your challenge yet. I keep forgetting. So shame on me. You started something, a couple of weeks ago maybe.
Yes. I was scrolling through Facebook. You have to love social media. I was scrolling through Facebook, and I'm seeing all of this stuff, the Giddy Up Challenge and police departments doing the lip sync challenge. And, I mean, it's good. It's good for, the social media aspect of
Sure.
the police to tell people that, we are human beings too.
Sure.
But on the same token, too, people are asking me to do it. And
I've seen you dance before and lip sync together at the same
I
time.
can't,
It's not
So
good.
what I did was I came up with a challenge. And it was not really a challenge, but I had to call it a challenge to get people to look into it. I said it was the Pledge Challenge. And I edited the whole thing myself. Go ahead. I actually have a YouTube channel now, so you can go look at it. I have it posted on my Facebook. But I edited the whole thing. I was like, I'm sick and tired. I'm not here to do the Giddy Up Challenge. And I edited in this police officer doing the Giddy Up Challenge. I said, I'm not here to do the lip sync challenge. And I edited this department.
Yes.
And the department,
Very well done, by the way.
My skills are, they're getting there.
Believe me, I know.
And then I said, well, here's a challenge that I want to do. And I said the Pledge of Allegiance. And then I called out a couple of officers to go ahead and do it. And then I called you out.
Yes, you did.
And I really want you to do it. And it's something that anybody can do.
Yeah.
And not feel, ashamed about.
Right.
It's
the
just
Pledge of Allegiance.
the Pledge of Allegiance.
Right.
I'm not lip syncing. I'm not dancing. I'm not anything like that. This guy doesn't dance.
No. Well, no, like I said, I've seen it before. It's not good.
It's not pretty.
No. So what happened since then?
Since I did the challenge?
Otherwise, in addition to the fact that I haven't accepted the challenge yet.
I have called out people in California who have done it, and they've called out people. I've called out people in West Virginia who hasn't done it yet. I've called out people over in Maine. I called out Officer Travis. You're watching. I know you are. I'll get to you later. Whichever camera I need to look at.
Right there. Yeah.
So I called out all those, and Officer Travis, he called out all of his people down in North Carolina. He just moved up to Maine. He's a guest you can have on your show. I called them out. They've called out other people, and it's starting to catch on. I am actually starting to see videos of people do it on Facebook.
So reciting the Pledge of Allegiance.
That's it.
In front of
a flag.
An American flag.
Let's flood Facebook with that. Without all this negativity, let's just flood Facebook with that.
You'll always get the negativity, though.
Well,
Isn't it incredible?
You will.
You will. Much more than you would back in the 70s and 80s. You never would have. But today, for some reason, the tides have shifted. I don't understand it. So how many? So good response so far.
Well, I don't know. You haven't quite done it yet, so
Well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it possibly tonight, if it's still light when I get home. No, I will. And I already have a plan of how I'm going to do it, where I'm going to do it. I've got the plan. I just need to execute it. So
we do it right now. If you had a flag,
I don't
here,
have a flag.
You have everything but the kitchen sink here. Well,
that's right.
You still have the kitchen sink. It's right over there.
Now, but. Was this something that you wanted to do for September 11th?
Nope.
Nothing to do with that.
No, nothing to do with that. I just wanted to do it because I just felt that, it should be out there. It should be on Facebook. People should,
Sure.
You should be able to see that since they don't say it in schools that much anymore. Right. Let's flood Facebook with something nice.
Yeah.
That's
very cool. I think that's a pretty slick idea.
And then when you do it, you can call out several people, and then they could do it and call people out.
In my hand right here, and we won't show you exactly what it says, but in my hand is a list of at least 3 individuals that I'll be passing the baton to and asking them to accept the challenge. So I don't want to mention any names. Could possibly be Joe Altsworth. Just saying, it's possible, but we won't go. We won't go any further than that. But I'm looking forward to it. I think that's very cool that you started this up. You're always generating some pretty cool ideas.
I try to.
You're so engaged in the community, my man.
I don't want to go that far, but
you are.
I'm just a normal guy. That's it.
You're incredibly engaged with the community. You started something last year with you came up with an idea to basically offer a way for folks to recycle their scrap metal, and you had a scrap metal drive up at the Barry Auditorium, year number 1. And even though it wasn't publicized insanely, it was a huge success, and there were a lot of people there.
It was. We
gonna
did
do it
it
again?
Yes, we are. In the last Saturday in October. We're going to do it. It's going to be at the Barry Aud. We're going to have Bulldogs. It's just amazing people. Amazing people. They have gone literally out of their way to help us out. And it's such a great thing because with us doing this, we're helping the community get rid of all their crap.
You're right, of course.
We're like the we're like the raccoons here. We're taking all this garbage and we're trying to do something good with it. And what we're doing is we're helping the public get rid of their crap. We're helping them get rid of it for free. We're helping clean the environment, and whatever money we make off of it is going towards a registered nonprofit organization.
Tell me about that.
This October, we're going to do it for Call for Backup. I'm going to donate the money to Call for Backup, which is an organization that I'm I'm now affiliated with, or I'm an instructor for, I should say.
Yeah. So the money will go there.
Yep.
And that will support the call for backup training and promotion that goes with all of that organization right here in Vermont.
It'll be there to help out everybody.
Okay.
You know, basically what this organization does is, you want to talk amazing. I mean, this place is just, we had him come to Vermont.
Who?
Which is the president of the organization. His name is David Edwards. Such an amazing story he has, too. Just, you should definitely get him as a guest on your show. What it is we had him come to Vermont. He came to Vermont. I opened it up to, well, let me pause for a minute. Call for backup is available for police, fire, EMS, dispatch, and corrections. It's available for all first responders. So it's a suicide prevention and awareness class for the first responders. Since suicides amongst first responders are 10 times higher than the general population. Well, I want to say 10 times higher, that's for paramedics. It's 39% greater than the general population if you're in corrections. It's just that much. In Vermont, we lead second in the nation for suicides here in Vermont. So I put that together. I reached out to him. He takes this training and he takes this class anywhere in the nation free of charge. And he offers it to police, fire, and EMS, dispatch, and corrections. So I pulled him to Vermont. I had it. I invited everybody within the state. I put it on the fire department training roster, the police department's training roster. I invited people at the hospital. I invited corrections. I invited probation and parole. I mean, we have reached over 100 first responders with this one-day training we had in Montpelier.
And that was just maybe a month ago?
Yes, that was the end of July.
So how long was this course?
This course is just a 4-hour course. So
Right.
he came to Vermont and he taught 2 classes. And then the week after that, I went out to Michigan and I became an instructor for the organization.
So what does that mean now? You can teach a class.
I can teach the class. That
a
is
2-hour
correct.
class.
Actually, it's a 4-hour class. 4-hour class. He taught 2 4-hour classes.
Oh. Yeah. Oh my God.
So this way, here in Vermont, I can now teach. I'm going to teach it within our department, but I can also take it on the road. And, we can even have a class and, say we're going to have a class at the State House and I can invite everybody up to it. Or I could go down to Berry City and teach the class.
Yeah.
I could go anywhere and teach the class.
I would love to drop a couple of cameras if that's something that could ever be done, and go live on this course so that everybody can see it. But maybe that's not kosher. I don't know.
I'll have to check and see. But
yeah.
One thing though is I invited the mayor, Lucas
Herring.
I invited him to it, and he went, and just amazing guy too.
Of course he is. He does everything.
He's such a hands-on mayor. He's just
Yep.
great. I was surprised to see him there, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I looked up in the crowd and I saw him there. I was like, hey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's always said everything. Astonishing. And he carries a full-time job. So how he does it all, I don't know. So do you ever wonder who might be in the class that's being taught who may very quietly be at risk of suicide themselves? Is that something that's ever crossed your mind?
It has. And the thing is that in the class, it's not just suicide, it's stress management as well. And they really break it down, and they get in there, and then they teach you about stress. There's good stress, there's bad stress. Good stress would be like you're going on an amusement park ride and you love the roller coaster.
Yeah.
Bad stress, well, for a first responder, it's a lot greater, because the thing is, we being a first responder, not just a police officer, not just a paramedic, even the fireman. You have to be somebody's miracle, and that's a lot of weight to carry, because everyone's like, oh, thank God the police are here. And then I have to answer all their questions and make sure that everything goes well. We see people at their worst days possible. They don't invite us over for their kids' barbecue. Right. They invite us over when they're yelling and screaming at each other and attacking each other with baseball bats.
Right.
That's when they invite us.
Or there's an emergency that was unplanned.
So we always see people at their worst. And to be somebody's miracle, so to speak, when we show up there, that's a lot of stress on top of, did I do the job right? And on top of everything else that's hitting with you. Here's the thing with police officers, though, is we deal with call to call to call to call. So it's a lot of stress on one call that we see, that we get hammered with a lot more stress from a call.
And you haven't,
and then we haven't quite digested the stress from the first one. So if you don't properly file all that stuff away, then you're going to turn to other sources of stress management. A perfect example for that would be smoking. How many times have you seen like a fireman come out of a building and he takes off his air mask, he sits on the back of the truck, and he fires up a smoke? Because they think that the cigarette smoke will calm you down. That smoking calms you. It just creates more issues and more problems.
Or booze.
Yeah, or definitely they get into that. We talk about that in the class as well.
Booze, drugs.
Yeah.
And then, you couple this, which is all work-related stress, and then if you go home to a family life that is dysfunctional, you got a marriage that's maybe not healthy. You've got some kids that are having problems in school. You got some money problems. You got some stress. You got the house, whatever it may be, car problems. You couple that all into it.
Couple that with it on top of everything else there.
Yeah.
And then here's another thing. Here's another sort of stress too, is like some of these officers, they get wounded. And then they get wounded and they can't work. And they feel like their department has turned their back on them. So then they're out of a job. They're used to a 2-income family, but now all of a sudden, dad's injured, he's out of work. Workman's comp's not quite kicking in, not paying. So he needs the money, and that's more stress on top of everything else that he's trying to process and get through. So
there's also an element of pressure about pride. And whether it's EMT, police, fire, whatever it may be, if you as a human being make an error, even if it's a minor error, in front of your colleagues under high pressure, and they see that, they witness that, there's a strong element of pride that can put some serious added stress.
Police have to deal with split-second decisions and they rely back on what their training is. So they deal with split-second decisions that they only have a couple of moments to deal with. But then lawyers have months and months to break it apart.
Contemplating.
And say, why didn't you do this and why didn't you do that and how come you didn't follow this? I could tell you one thing though is after this incident that happened in Montpelier, I contacted members within the department and I just said, hey, I'm available. Anybody wants to talk to me, I'm available. I'm out here. If you guys want to talk, if you want to just shoot the breeze about anything, I'm here to talk. I let Mr. Edwards know too. He was the president of the Call for Backup. And he said, if these boys need to talk, let me know. I'll give them a call. So now I have this huge resource available. You know, this organization is just, I mean, amazing. This is going to be my second fundraiser that I have done for Call for Backup. I did one before with them where it was a craft fair my wife and I did. And it's funny because he talked about the craft fair too, JD. He was just like, yeah, when I was sitting there and I hear that, you know, somebody's going to do a craft fair fundraiser, I was like, great, we'll get $20 or $30 coming to us. Mm-hmm. Well, we raised close to $1,400 for them in one night. So, and I don't have a problem doing any kind of fundraiser for these people because I see where the money goes, you know, to help him keep the doors open, to help him get the resources available, so he can not only continue to do this here now within Vermont, but he can continue to do this even in New Hampshire, even in anywhere.
Sure.
You know.
Let's say this, folks. Please, if you would, we're going to give you. We're going to tell you exactly where to go on social media. Well, Jason's gonna on where you can find the event. The last Saturday in October at the Barry Auditorium, the Scrap Metal Drive, with proceeds going to Call for Backup, this national organization which has come right here to Vermont. It's going to stay here thanks to this man. But please, if you could share that event that's happening right here in our community, and also hashtag Call for Backup too, if you could please put that on your social media. So where do they go? Where do they find it?
That'll be callforbackup.org. That is the national organization's website. You can also see them on Facebook too. You can message them if you're in crisis or just want to talk, just want to vent. Message them on Facebook. They have the resources available out there. Such an amazing place, though. I met with him, and I met with members of. They're part of an organization called Humanizing the Badge. I talked about them before.
Yes.
Amazing group of people those guys are, and they travel all over too, and they help out anywhere they can. Just, you know.
Where on our local Facebook is there an event?
Yeah,
a Facebook event.
I posted the event. I posted it. It's on my page. I gave you a photo of it, so you can pop it up.
I will.
But there is an event for it. I did create an event on Facebook. We are going to have flyers out and around, so they will be around. I put it on Front Porch Forum.
Yep. Okay. So, what is your Facebook page? And what? you know I'm you know I'm
I know where you're
you
going.
Up.
I know. Yeah, I know where you're going. Up
you know what I'm
this,
trying to do here.
Okay. I'm Farva VT at Facebook, and you can look me up on Snap. I'm on there on Snapchat. I'm there on Instagram.
Wait, say that one more time now.
Farva VT. I'm in Vermont. Farva kind of looks like me.
Kinda.
Well,
I mean, you know.
Well, you're gonna put up
Kinda?
the other picture. You're gonna go side by side comparison, right?
Kinda is a gross understatement.
You know, like I was talking. You know, the folks at home don't know. I was talking to JD once, and I was talking to him.
Oh, here we go.
I was talking to him on Messenger, and he's like, "Why do they call you Farva?" And I'm just like, well, I don't know, JD. I don't know. And then I gave you a picture of it, and you're like, oh my God.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You're like, oh my God.
So Super Trooper.
Yes.
For the folks that watching, listening right now that may not be familiar with Super Trooper and Farva, please do tell.
The movie came out right when I was getting out of the academy.
Oh, perfect timing.
And everybody was like, oh, my God, that's Farva. I mean, everybody over in Williamstown was just like, oh, yeah, Farva.
So
yeah.
The movie is about state troopers.
Yeah, well, thank goodness I wear a black and navy uniform, not
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
For Halloween, could you go as a Vermont State cop as Farva?
Well, I could, but well, they also call me like Paul Blart too, because they look like Paul Blart Mall Cop.
No.
So
No, not.
I mean, I couldn't look like Tom Cruise or nothing. I gotta look like.
So Super Troopers, state cops, or basically what?
We're the state cops in Vermont.
Yes.
And they're doing all sorts of wacky stuff.
And is there a police officer or a trooper in our state who has not seen Super Trooper? Probably not.
I don't know. I mean, but
there may be one or two.
The state police were a little upset when that movie came out, and because everybody thought that.
Of course.
But nonetheless.
Right. So, have you ever pulled anyone over and they've said, "Hey, you look just like Farva"?
Yes, I have.
You have.
Yeah, where he continued to hop on his phone and tell people, "Dude, I'm in Spurberry. I'm being pulled over by Farva." I'm like, "Yeah, this guy's getting a ticket." Yeah.
I was gonna say,
I actually gave him a warning, but
when someone says to you, "You look," can I just say something? You look just like Farva. What do you say? What's your reaction?
It's been so long now, I just decided to hell with it and just go with the flow. My wife and I, we were in Disney one year, and this couple standing in front of us turned around, and they thought I was Farva. I went to a bar, and my buddy and I were at a training in Burlington. We went to the bar. The bartender thought I was Farva. Next thing you know, I had a free drink.
Why haven't you said that you are? And just start signing autographs. I mean, why not?
The whole copyright infringement thing.
Oh, no. Anyway, you're doing great things, my man. You're doing fantastic things. I'm going to tell you again, last Saturday in October is the Scrap Metal Drive. What time is it? 10 o'clock?
We're going to be there from 8:30 to 4:30. Or is it 8 o'clock to 4:30? We're going to be there. I'll be there. You just get it there.
Right. Trailer, truck, whatever.
And I'll help unload it.
Okay.
I don't have the resources or get people with trucks. But if you want to have a truck and show up and just drive around and collecting scrap metal, then God bless. Thanks. But,
And Christy and Mark Hamill.
Yep.
Last year, man, they busted their butts all day.
They did. And
great people.
They are. Would they plan on showing up there too to help out?
Yeah.
But I mean, even if you have a scrap car, you bring it up there. Bulldog said, "Oh yeah." Bulldog said, if somebody wants to donate a car, just have them drive it or push, pull, tow it to the odd on that day, and they'll pick it up from there.
Wow.
We had a guy last year. He gave us a snow machine. It was all destroyed. Gave it to us. I mean, we had a 30-yard dumpster, a 25-yard dumpster, and we had an overseas container that we had filled. We thought we were going to need an additional dumpster there. And then we ended up making...
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how much money did you make last year?
We ended up making like $1,400 that goes towards this nonprofit organization, just out of garbage.
Yeah.
But the thing is that, the environment was really, really the winner there, because that could have ended up over a bank somewhere.
Sure.
And the mayor loved it so much, he was asking me again and again, "Hey, you're going to have that metal thing this year? You're going to do the metal drive this year, right?"
Right. Hot water heaters, whatever it may
as
be.
As long as it's metal, we can take it. No hazardous materials.
Right.
No things like that,
So this allows you to have a little bit of comfort and flexibility with promotional materials, whatever it may be that you need to promote and facilitate call for backup right here in the Green Mountain State.
Absolutely.
What an important mission and just solid stuff. I would love to come and watch that course. I think it's great.
Come. I'll let you know when we're going to do it in our department. You can come on up.
What else do we have on you. We have. I know you're always coming up with guest ideas, and things, and you've helped me out so much, giving me ideas on things that I could do. I was at Six Flags with my family on the day that you had coffee with a cop, and that was up at the Berlin Mall, and
It was.
big success.
Yes, it was. What I did was we had a local business here in Vermont. He kicked in. It's Green Mountain Security, So if you're watching Green Mountain Security,
Okay.
thanks. What he did is he helped give money, so we bought donuts with that.
Yep.
I had a friend that I've met on the internet. He gave me coffee, and his coffee company is called Blue Line Roasting. He's a police officer out in California. He gave me coffee for the event. So we took the coffee and the donuts, we put them together, and we had coffee with a cop right there at the Berlin Mall. I thought it was a very good success. They want us to go ahead and do it again. I invited every police department within the county. I invited constables. I invited the Fish and Wildlife. They were there. I invited
Really?
the DMV officers. I invited the troopers. I invited, Berry City. I invited Northfield. I invited Montpelier, Berlin, of course, the sheriff's department. If you were a law enforcement officer within Washington County, I invited you. And believe me, they were all there.
That is so cool.
It was, and people were like, at first they were startled. They're like walking through the mall and they look and they see like 20 cops there. And we're like, come on over, grab a donut, have some coffee.
Were you in the middle section?
Yeah,
there?
we're over by Planet Fitness.
I think that is such a cool concept and a great idea. We're not talking about just one cop showing up somewhere at a cafe and sitting there by himself for an hour.
No, we were there probably 8:30 to 10:30 we were there. But it was just a chance to, and the way I looked at it was this, is it's not just this department with these
Sure.
residents that live there.
Sure.
But how about do it countywide?
Sure.
So this way, when you're there countywide, I drive through three counties, three towns within the same county just to get to work. So it's like, it only makes sense for me to want to talk to this city's officer
Sure.
or this town's officer, or, but I figured why not pull them all in one place, and I did. And the Berlin Mall wants us to have it again.
So you had a good crowd. What kinds of things were people saying? Were they just complaining? Were they complimenting?
No.
What did you hear?
They just wanted to meet. It was like a meet and greet with free coffee and donuts.
Wow.
And they came up and, oh hey, one lady was like, oh hey, I've seen you a lot when I pass through here. Now I actually get a chance to say hello. So it was kind of neat.
That's what it's all about.
That is the bottom line. It's not there to talk about, municipal ordinances. Unless you want to, then you could bridge that gap there. But what this coffee with a cop was intended to be was just to open up the lines of communication between the community and police in general, not just this department or that department.
Yeah.
That's why I invited everybody in the county.
And that's so important. As a dad of a 4-year-old, we're always trying to explain to her, if we are somewhere, Champlain Valley Fair, Six Flags, Tunbridge Fair, no matter where we are, if you get lost and you can't find mommy and daddy, this is what a police officer looks like. And there are female police officers and male police officers, and this is what their uniforms look like. Some of them are a little different, but this is we show her the badge, we show her the belt, the car. We point out police cars when we're driving. Do you see the police car? We do. Where is the police car? And she'll point it out. That's so important. And it's also what's also so important is that Lily not only recognize what a police officer looks like, but also that she's not intimidated, that she has to understand that Police officers are your friends. They're not just there that you're in trouble. You're not getting in trouble. You should go up and speak to them and say hello. And man, I'll tell you what, when a cop crouches down and looks Lily in the eye and gives her a sticker or anything like that, the impact on that is massive. It's huge.
We want to teach kids to run to the police when they're in trouble, not run away from us. And I really hate it when parents walk up there and go, well, if you're not good and you don't clean your room, that man over there is going to arrest you.
I'm so glad you just said that.
I feel like saying, and I almost said it once, I almost said to the kid, why don't we just arrest Dad and you and I go out for ice cream?
Good for
instead.
you.
Good
for you.
But,
Jeez.
I mean, the whole thing is, I literally had a parent walk up to me and say, can you talk to my kid? I'm like, absolutely. I'm like, hey, buddy, what's going on? I said, hey, dude, here, let's fist bump. Yeah. And the parent was like, no, I want you to yell at my kid because he didn't clean his room. I'm the police officer. You're the parent. You need to learn how to parent.
Wow. God bless you for saying that.
But we live in a different world nowadays.
Sure. Of course we do. So when's the next one?
The next Coffee with a Cop?
Coffee with a Cop.
I don't quite know yet.
And will it be at the Berlin Mall?
They want us to have it there. They want us to have it there. But yeah, we're planning on it. We're going to do something. It'll be sometime in the future. We're just trying to figure out what day to have it at. Because we had the first one there. We had that on a Saturday, and we had quite a bit of people there. But
yeah, you'll let me know.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I want you to do the podcast there.
I would love to.
Well, no, because you always, I'm busy. I'm over here.
Well, listen,
I'm not going to do your stupid pledge challenge.
I'm going to do the pledge challenge probably tonight. The next Coffee with a Cop, I'll be there. Okay, I promise you, I'll be there, and Lily will be there, and she'll be hanging all over you. Back to call for backup, and I know we're kind of all over the road here, and that's fine. Why is it important to you to be an instructor for call for backup to prevent suicide? Why is it important to you to bring this to Vermont, other than for obvious reasons that it's just a fantastic organization that every state should have, every county in every state should have? But why for you?
Well, back in the 70s, my father was a trooper. Well, he was a trooper for like 15 years here in Vermont, and he did commit suicide in 1979. And this is kind of eerie because when I went out to Michigan to become an instructor for this class was the 40th anniversary of his death. So that was kind of eerie. But back then, they didn't have classes like this to teach people. It wasn't a thing. And there's this huge stigma out there now that we need to kind of resolve. And that stigma is that if you're a first responder and you say, hey, I need help dealing with things, they're automatically, the stigma is that you're weak.
Right.
Suck it up, buttercup.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Yeah.
Or they'll be like, well, you're just a nut, and we're gonna, you have PTSD, get out of here.
Yeah, of course.
So they get kind of looped into that stigma. It is okay. What the main thing that call for backup is they teach you signs and signals. They teach you the red flags. They teach you how the different kinds of stress, how you can help relieve that stress. They teach you the warning signs about somebody who's in crisis or going to crisis. They didn't have this training back then. So that's my thing is I don't want people to go through what I had to go through. And what better person to instruct this class is somebody that's on both sides of the fence, so to speak. Yeah.
There's folks watching this right now that are thinking sometimes these signs, these symptoms, these red flags, are indetectable.
Well, I knew there's one flag that rose up was when my dad took us all on vacation. He never took us on vacation. We never went on vacation. All of a sudden, he's taking us to an amusement park. That was a huge red flag. But they didn't know. And what my father did was he went to the State House and he committed suicide. And now I work in the State House complex. Some find that eerie. I look at it like it's closure. For years I couldn't even drive past the State House, and now it's just So I look at it as closure for me to work up there. It's
You do such a remarkable job. I hear from your colleagues all the time that you are the go-to guy up there. You're there every day.
I'm there every day.
What kinds of how do you deal with all the protests and the funk up there at the State House?
Freedom of speech. It's...
Jeez. But then the lines get crossed, don't they? And they're...
You can say all you want outside, but once you come in and, you get asked to leave, then it's time to leave. But
how often are you dealing with that craziness up there?
It seems like more and more lately, but it's just part of the job that you have to deal with.
Yeah. And crapload about the history up there at the State House. You know so much.
I tell stuff to people that, it's not on the tour. That we had 3 U.S. presidents give a speech in the House chambers. From the very same rostrum there. I tell people that I give them so much history knowledge that they'll be running out of the State House with their ears bleeding.
So there are folks that give the tour, but you're not one of them.
I am not one of them. I'm not one. But they all come to me for questions and stuff. And you know what? I use history now to help kick people out. There was a group of kids over there, and I knew they were up to no good. And I said, hey, guys. I walk over to them. I say, hey, guys, do you guys realize in 1902 Teddy Roosevelt gave a speech on the front lawn here to 15,000 people? And these kids are dating, right? Hey, dude, these kids are like, yeah, it's time to go, right? But wait, guys, there's more.
Oh, there's more. Is there anything hidden behind any of the big pictures hanging on the walls up there? What's behind those pictures?
Just plaster.
Any hidden cameras inside the pictures? In the retinas of any of the... No?
Those pictures, those paintings are worth some serious...
Yeah.
They're irreplaceable.
Yeah.
Some of them are. Irreplaceable.
Is the dome all done? Did we finish that up?
The outside is, yes. We have a new statue on the top. It is all done. Now, normally it's every 20 years that you're supposed to re-gild it.
Yeah.
The last time it was gilded, it was 40 years. So the state of Vermont really got its money's worth out of this one there. And it looks great. It's just in time for winter.
Roof's not leaking.
Nope.
The ice skating rink, is that coming back to the lawn?
No idea. No idea.
What was the problem with the big fence? I mean, was it really that ugly?
I didn't have a problem with it, but I don't know. It's all powers greater than I.
Yeah. Marijuana in the garden. What's the deal? What happened?
I think
who planted it? What's going on?
I think it was a tourist trap. I do, because we've never had so many people look at our flower gardens ever since.
That's
perfect way to get people to look at your flower garden.
Of course. What happened? Was it really marijuana? Who picked it? Where is it? What happened?
I was not working that day.
Wait a minute now. Hold on.
I was not working for the Capitol that day.
Who noticed it? Who found it? Don't know.
I don't know. I was not working that day, but I think it was one of the Capitol officers that found it, and they went ahead and they actually sent it to the crime lab, I think.
Isn't that something else?
Yeah.
Somebody somewhere snickering about that.
Yeah, well.
You know. And they've got a story for their grandkids.
Yeah.
You find all kinds of stuff on social media of ordinary people doing extraordinary things.
Yes, yes, I do. I'll give you some. I'm not ordinary or extraordinary, or I'm nothing special. I am, but there's a lot of other people that are, and I'll just yell out a couple of names and tell you their brief stories. Is Donut Boy.
Donut Boy.
He is a 10-year-old kid. He lives in Florida, and he told his mother, better write it down.
I'm writing it down right now. Donut Boy.
Donut Boy. He came to Vermont. His mother was a police officer. He looks at her and says, "Mommy, those guys over there, why do police are getting a bad name?" And she explained to him that, police are, people hate the police sometimes. And he says, "I want to go give those guys each a donut. Can we go?" And his mother's paid, went in there, bought donuts for all the boys. So then Tyler says, "I want to go to all 50 states and thank police officers and give them each a donut." Well, he has hit all 50 states, and he has given close to 90,000 donuts away to police officers. He came to Vermont, and I gave you a picture of him.
Yes,
it's a great picture.
I'm going to post it up on social
media. He's walking
media.
up towards the Vermont State House, and here's like this little kid with a bag of donuts. It's just a great picture. He is such an extraordinary kid. Another one is Officer Travis, who I know was watching. I spoke to his dad today. Officer Travis is another 10-year-old kid. Now, wait till you listen to what this kid does. He's another guest you can have on your show.
I'm writing it down.
Okay, you better. Oh, I'm going to do your pledge challenge.
You are.
So what Travis does is, 10-year-old kid, when he was 5 years old, police officer came to school, and he talked to the kids at school. And then from that moment on, he was known as Officer Travis. "Hi, I'm Officer Travis." So then his dad got,
The boy was calling himself Officer Travis.
The boy was calling himself Officer Travis. So now he's now 10. He has the vest. He's got everything. He's starting to do a museum. He moved over to Maine. And here's the great thing that he's doing. He is hand-drawing sympathy cards, and he's mailing them out to the police departments that lose a line-of-duty death officer. Because the police department is that officer's family, too.
In America, he's doing
In America. Is that awesome or what?
Where does he live again?
He lives in Maine. He just moved to Augusta, Maine.
How can we get him here?
Well, Travis, guys are watching. Terry, contact me, and then I'll hook you up with JD. Just amazing.
Will you bring him in here?
Well, if he comes here, I suppose.
Okay.
We got to get him here, though.
We'll get him here.
But hand draws these sympathy cards, and he mails them to the police departments. Now, what I did, too, is I hooked up with his dad, and we had a thin blue line flag. And it's hashtag Project Officer Travis. Got this blue line flag, and I took this flag. I said, "Give me the flag. Bring it to Vermont." So they mailed me the flag. I went over to North Carolina first, because that's where he's out of. It hit a couple of police departments there, and then he mailed it to me in Vermont. We flew it at the State House. I took a picture of it while it was flown there. We gave him a certificate that it was flown at the State House. The governor signed the thin blue line flag. Every police officer that I was in contact with signed the thin blue line flag. I took the flag to New York for it was a police officers weekend, law enforcement officers weekend at Lake George. And that's another nonprofit organization. You can have him on your show, too. They're doing really amazing things.
What's it called again?
Law Enforcement Officers Weekend. .com.
Okay.
Took the flag out there. I had all those guys, officers over in New York, sign it. And then we shipped it off to Texas. It went over to Texas. It went over to Colorado. And now it's days away from making it back home to Maine. And that's awesome. Now, the governor signed the flag, And then once he found out what Project Officer Travis was about him doing the sympathy cards, he reaches into his wallet and he pulls out a $20 bill and he says, "Here, get this to this kid."
Governor Scott.
Governor Scott. Is that amazing
That's
or what?
so cool.
I had some Supreme Court justices sign the flag too.
Wow, man. And this kid's only 10 years old.
Only 10 years old.
Unreal.
Yeah.
It was a. It reminds me of this boy from Florida, who just last week gave up all of the money that he was saving to go to Disney World, which was his birthday wish, and his name is Jermaine Bell, 6 years old, and decided to give up all of this money that he had been saving in his piggy bank and give it to as many families as he could that were evacuated to South Carolina during Hurricane Dorian, to buy hot dogs and chips for all of the evacuees. And now Disney has caught word of this, and they're flying him to Disney World and putting him up, taking care of the whole family. Everything is comped, and they're putting him on the VIP list for everything. I love it. I love stuff like that. Kids, man, they are the barometer. They are the most accurate representation, I think, of what direction we're going in as a society.
I got another kid for you. His name's Zachariah. Running with Heroes. This kid runs 1 mile for every police officer that is killed in the line of duty.
What is it called? Running?
Running with Heroes. Zachariah. Amazing kid, too. I think he's out of Florida, too. You know.
Wow.
But
I love it.
before, I know we're winding down here, so I got to talk about these people. I'm working with an organization. I'm helping them out. It's called Protecting the Blue. What these people do, JD, it's a husband and wife team. There, I know she's watching too. There's a husband and wife team. She started off by taking pictures of police officers, saying, "Hey, I'm just curious, what kind of, lucky charm, good luck charm did you carry?" So they'd show her, "Hey, I like my necklace," and then she'd take a picture. And then eventually it kind of morphed into them getting coins and then handing them out to each of these officers. And they do this with their own money, and they're a registered nonprofit organization. It's called Protecting the Blue. And they take pictures of the police officers and they do things like that. I'm working with them on a promotion here in Vermont. It is going to be a dual promotion from with Green Mountain Security. What we're going to do is I have coins from them, and I have $5 gift cards from Dunkin' Donuts. If I see a police officer and whatnot, I stop, talk to him or her. I give him a badge. I give him a challenge coin.
You gave me one.
Yeah, I gave you one of mine, but This is one of theirs.
Okay.
I give one of them one of the Protecting the Blues challenge coins, and I give them a $5 gift card to Dunkin' Donuts and say thank you.
That's so cool.
Yeah, amazing people too.
What state are they out of?
Well, she's out of. Well, they travel for work, so they're all over the place. I think they're in West Virginia, Pennsylvania, close there, right? But yeah, Eric, I got something for you though.
Okay. Well, this is going to be interesting.
Well, first off, I noticed that you only have water within your coffee cups.
Yes.
So we're gonna give
Really? Oh.
give you a pound of thin blue line roaster coffee. Now, what he does with this is he donates 20% of the proceeds go to a nonprofit called COPS, which is Concerns of Police Survivors. And that, my friend, is some really good coffee.
Really?
Yes.
So you can get this bluelineroasting.com.
Yes.
It's a way to get it. Blue Line Roasting Company, established in Southern California, owned and operated by a law enforcement officer. The company was created to help families of police officers who have fallen or been injured in the line of duty. We donate a portion of all proceeds to professionally recognized organizations who support, educate, and train our law enforcement community and their families. We are the Thin Blue Line. That is amazing.
But read the name of that call.
Fur Missile.
Fur missiles, canines.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
He's got one brand that's called like Tap Rack and Bang. Now, this organization donated coffee for me for the Coffee with a Cop. So I am giving you this as part of this other thing, which is, here's a poker chip.
Really?
From Green Mountain Security.
Very cool. Thank you, my man.
I'm going to give you now a challenge coin for Call for Backup.
Wow. I will fear no evil. Slick.
Now I'm going to give you should be honored to have this, JD, because
I'm honored already. My God.
Well, I know it's like Christmas. It's like Christmas here, you know. I'm going to present you with. You'll be one of the only civilians to have a Protecting the Blue challenge coin. They only give those out to law enforcement officers. You're the one of the few civilians ever to get them. But I will give you a patch as well. No, we're not done yet, JD.
Whoa.
Here's a certificate of appreciation presented to JD Green. Protecting the Blue is proud to award this certificate to selfless people and organizations across the county that support the police. We are proud to name JD Green as a recipient of this award and for being a champion for first responders here in Central Vermont. Signed by the president and the co-founder, Susan Smith, protectingtheblue.com, hashtag protecting the blue. There you go.
Tearing up, buddy. Thank you. That is unreal. I want to put this in my mom's room up at the nursing home. Thank you so much. Protectingtheblue.com. Check it out online if you can.
I just got to get a picture of you and I with it after, when we're all done, and this way she can post that right on the Facebook page.
Thank you ever so much. Here, we'll show it to you on camera. I'm so honored, and I'm blown away.
I tried to hide that from you.
You did. You did hide it. Thank you. This is Jason Gould, our Washington County Deputy Sheriff, my special guest this time around on Aired Out. He's got some amazing things coming up. Watch my Facebook page. Get on Farva VT on that Facebook page as well to see some really cool things that he's doing in our community all throughout the year. Check out bluelineroasting.com, protectingtheblue.com, hashtag protectingtheblue. Watch my Facebook page too. We're gonna have a lot of stuff on there over the. You've given me some homework, my man. I'm blown away. And the Pledge Challenge, it's on YouTube. You can recite the Pledge of Allegiance with an American flag, post it wherever you want. You can send it right to, if someone sends it to you on Messenger maybe, Farva VT.
I will post it.
You'll put it up on YouTube.
I will post it.
So cool. Thanks, my man.
Tag me on it. I will, we'll do my best.
Wow.
We'll get this thing rolling.
Thanks to Gauthier's Quality Grounds and Maintenance in Orange, my proud sponsor, and Fontaine Forestry and Millworks in East Montpelier on Route 14, just down from Bragg Farm. Get yourself over there, fontainemillworks.com. We'll catch you real soon. Thanks to Billy and my producer, Billy Waite, and Central Vermont Television, CVTV, Tony Campos, and the rest of the team. Have a great rest of your day, and make sure that you fold your hands tonight before you go to bed and think about all those affected from the 9/11 attacks. We'll catch you next time. Thank you so much, and thanks for subscribing.
Yeah, awesome.